a swirl on top of lemon buttercream and strawberry buttercream and a candied lemon peel as a decoration. So, let's see, what am I adding to the bowl? We have melted butter, granulated sugar, and powdered sugar. So, this is a soft sugar cookie, and in order to achieve that texture without the cookie falling apart, I decided to replace the brown sugar with powdered sugar instead. There are a couple different methods to get like a softer cookie base. Some people also take out some of the flour and add cornstarch, but I find that whenever I do that, the cookie, like, it is softer, but it loses too much of its structural integrity, and so it kind of like is too fragile and falls apart. And I knew since I was going to be adding toppings to this cookie, I needed it to be like a sturdier kind. So that's why I'm doing powdered sugar instead, because it's super finely milled, so it absorbs into all the liquids in the cookie dough quite easily, and that helps make it a softer texture because it's not like I'm not working a granule into the batter, I'm working like a really fine sugary powder. So I'm just mixing those in there with my two extracts. I'm doing vanilla extract and then lemon extract. And then I'm going to zest the rest of this lemon into the cookie dough as well. The other half of the lemon I had already pre-peeled because I was using it to make my candied lemon topping, which we will get into later. I wouldn't say it was quite laborsome, but it definitely took a long time because you have to wait for the lemon peels to dry out for a certain step. And so that took a few hours. But yeah, I'm just zesting. I need to get a microplane because I want like a finer zest. I feel like these are like large zest. What would I call them? Not flakes, but like stripes. I don't know. And I just feel like it would blend into like my batters and my doughs better if it was like a finer grained lemon zest from a microplate versus a regular zester. I don't really like care if there's like texture from that kind of stuff in my baked goods, but I know some people are particular about that. This that I'm making on camera now, I just have the recipe because I was testing it out. This is actually the first time that I tested out making the recipe and it was a success, so that does not happen very often and I was very excited about that. But I will have the full recipe instructions linked below in the description if you'd like to make these for yourself. Usually I would zest the lemon into the granulated sugar and mix those together first, but I just forgot to do that. recipe. Normally for cookies, I just do baking soda, because if you add too much baking powder, the cookie can tend to get a little cakey, because baking powder helps the dough rise, whereas baking soda helps it sort of spread more. But like I said earlier, I wanted this to be like a softer, not quite cake-like, but just like a little bit more of a delicate sugar cookie, so that's why I did a little bit of both today for this recipe. And then I added my salt, of course, and now I'm mixing in all of that with my flour. I added all of my flour in at the same time, which I normally don't do, but it wasn't a ton, so it was fairly easy to mix together. You can see that the dough is a little bit on the thicker side compared to my other doughs that I use for like my chocolate chip cookies or my s'mores. But that's the texture that you want it to be for this type of cookie, because you want it to be like thicker. You want the cookie to be like thicker and a little bit more dense and less like crisp. Because I only bake these until they're like just set like 12 to 14 minutes. Actually, I don't even think I did 14, I think I did 12 to 13 minutes. Until they're just lightly golden on the bottom. You don't even want the edges to be golden, really, because you want to keep them super soft. And now we're gonna get started on scooping them. So I'm gonna scoop them out. There's gonna be 4 of them. So when you make the whole recipe, you should make about 8 cookies. If you do like large ones, if you do small ones. Honestly, I have no idea, because I never make small cookies anymore now that I've got a large cookie scoop. So if you make this and you use like a smaller, regular size cookie scoop, let me know how many it makes. But while I'm scooping, I just scoop it into my hands and then I roll it into a little bit of a dough ball. And then once I've got them all rolled out, I'm going to flatten them out a little bit on my baking tray. Because these cookies don't spread as much as a regular cookie, you sort of have to like preemptively help them flatten out a little bit. So otherwise they'll sort of just become little mounds in the oven instead of a flat cookie. While I'm doing that, I'll tell you my adventure that I went on today. And by adventure, I mean I left the house to get snacks at Target because I'm PMSing and I needed ice cream. So I went to get that, and I went to get that one thing, this one specific ice cream flavor that only Target has because it's the Target brand. It's like mocha cookies and cream. It's really good. And I left with 3 items, none of which were the mocha cookies and cream ice cream, because when I got there to the ice cream aisle, Target had all of their other flavors but that one out. And I was very sad because I had been thinking about eating this ice cream for days. And I just assumed it would be there because, like, who is buying the Target brand ice cream over, like, Ben & Jerry's or whatever, you know? I guess a lot of people, including me. So I settled on chocolate peanut butter instead, and it was still good, but it wasn't what I wanted initially, so... Oh, someone just honked outside. a 6-pack of just like Fruit of the Loom socks. I don't understand. I think socks should be free. I think they should be like government subsidized. I don't know why, like some things I'm just annoyed that I have to buy like socks for some reason. I just feel like you should buy like one pack, and they should just last forever. And then I also was like, well, I have a sweet snack, and now I need a savory snack. And, oh, okay, you know what, pause my Target story. We're gonna talk about the candied lemon. so I wanted something savory as well. So I was like perusing the chip aisle. By the way, it's Saturday night as I'm recording this, and so like Target, like that's the only activity there is to do on Saturday nights in my town, is like go to the local Target. So it was incredibly busy, and I was perusing up and down the aisles trying to find a chip that would satisfy me. And I wanted to try this brand called Quest chips. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're like a protein chip, which I don't know, it just like intrigued me. Like, how does that little bag of chips have 20 grams of protein and then it's also gonna taste good? Like, I'm a little bit skeptical, so I wanted to just like, I was kind of curious and I wanted to try that out. So I found where they were located, but the only problem was that you can't just buy like one little bag. You have to buy a multi-pack of bags for like $10, and I did not want to commit to these protein chips, especially because I didn't even know if they were going to be good. So that was annoying to me too, because all of my snacks that I had planned in my brain were not going the way that I wanted them to. So if anyone has ever tried these Quest chips, let me know if they are good. And if you say they're good, then I guess I'll bite the bullet and I'll buy the multi-pack. But I don't know why. Maybe like other stores sell them in singular packs. I don't know. So then I had to circle back to the chip aisle, because of course these chips weren't in the chip aisle, they were with the supplements. So I had to go all the way across Target, and I went back to the chip aisle, and then they had like some of their seasonal like summer chip flavors on clearance. So I ended up getting like garlic parmesan kettle chips, and they were fine. They tasted just like kind of like sour cream and onion chips. So like I'll finish the bag, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to repurchase. Very middle of the road kind of chip. But I do appreciate that the Target brand kettle chips are not super greasy, because some of them are, like I feel like the Kettle brand have really oily chips, which I don't enjoy. I do love kettle chips though, but some of them can be a little greasy. And so I went to check out, and my Target has recently installed self-checkouts for like 10 items or less. And I was like, okay, great, like it's busy, but I'll just do self-checkout. I only have 3 items. And then I get to the checkout, and all of the self-checkouts are closed for some reason. Like, I don't know why they would do that to their employees on a weekend, but whatever. And there were only 2 registers open and working, so I had to stand in line with like all of these parents doing their weekly grocery shopping with their giant carts of stuff, and me with my socks and my ice cream 10th, 2019, Adam Hicks pled not guilty to counts of second-degree robbery and attempted second-degree robbery. In July 2021, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison for armed robbery. However, he was released in March of 2022 on parole after the judge credited his 1,460 days he served while awaiting sentencing. That's crazy that he was in all of these movies and shows and still, like, decided he needed to, like, rob people. I wonder, like, what did he rob? Let's look at his Wikipedia. I'm sorry, we have devolved from the cookies. I promise I'll get back to this, but I just need to know. He has a whole tab on Wikipedia called legal issues. Perfect. Okay, no one's saying, like, where, like, what was he robbing? Oh, since his release, he has turned his life around and became an advocate for men's mental health and substance abuse recovery. He has also apologized for the mistakes he made in the past, according to Wikipedia. So, good for him. I really want to know, like, the details of this robbery, though. Oh, just robbing several people on the streets of, like, LA, I guess. That's what it says. That's crazy. With his girlfriend. Oh my god. I'm not gonna go into the details of what this article says because I don't want to get demonetized, but it's him and his girlfriend. Like, this is quite violent. That's crazy. They just wanted money. I don't understand how he wouldn't have money, though, because he was in all of these Disney movies. I don't know. But I'm glad he's doing better now. It seems like he's turned his life around. So, you know what? Hannah Montana says, everybody makes mistakes and everybody has those days. And I need to get back to the cookies. Okay, so as you can see, the cookies, they came out of the oven. They're looking great. And right now I am using some leftover buttercream that I had already made from the Monet cake video that I did. I don't know which one is going up first, but either way you'll see that soon, or you already have. And I'm just adding a little bit of lemon extract to it to make my lemon buttercream for these cookies. And then I also have some strawberry buttercream, a little bit left over from my birthday cake that I am going to use for the strawberry portion of this recipe. I forgot what I was doing for a second. I forgot the word recipe. You can make buttercreams ahead of time and they'll be good in the fridge for like up to a month. You just have to let them come to room temperature so you can like remix them, reflap them up, and if you want to use them. So this is probably the last time I'll use the strawberry buttercream though. Because it's been about a month since my birthday, so. But I've used up most of it, so it's good. I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. I got sidetracked by Disney stars. Which is so funny because I also got sidetracked by Disney stars in the Monet cake voiceover too near the end. Maybe that'll just be a new segment in has not gone to prison, so. Oh, and these are my little candied lemons. I had already eaten a few, so, because they were just really good. And then I gave some to my brother because he likes sour things as well, and he enjoyed them, so. I really wish I remembered what I was gonna say. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just putting like a spoonful of lemon icing on half of the cookie and then a spoonful of strawberry icing on the other half of the cookie. And then I'm taking I remember what I was gonna say. And then I'm taking my offset spatula and I'm just gonna swirl them together. I was going to say, if you want either of these buttercream recipes, I do have a community post with the ingredients and measurements listed on there because I had some people request. So on that post is just like my regular vanilla buttercream base, and then I have the strawberry variation, and then I have a chocolate variation. If you want to make the lemon one, just add half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of lemon extract to the vanilla one, and there you go, there you have it. The swirls on this are so pretty. It's like a pink sunset. I love it. These cookies are so cute and they taste so good. They taste, in my opinion, they taste so much better than the Crumbl ones. Imagine if I went through all of this effort and then I was like, yeah, the Crumbl tastes better. That would be so sad. If I was just like, yeah, they're okay. No, these are really nice. If you like lemon flavored things, you'll really enjoy these. And they're just so cute with the candied lemon on top. I think that's a much better decoration than Crumbl did. They literally just put a raw lemon wedge on the cookie. I will insert a photo for comparison if I can find it. I think I took a photo of that one because it just made me laugh. I was like, I guess you made an attempt, but I don't know. I would barely call a regular lemon wedge edible. To me, it's like I'll eat the lemon, but a lot of people find that off-putting and too sour. I also considered making a raspberry variation of this instead of strawberry. terms of like my favorite, just like regular cookie, honestly,